Pierre Poilievre humiliates and embarrasses Justin Trudeau as he returns to Parliament, calling him the one that's unhinged for a change. Let's get into it.
Oh, yeah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. Pierre Poilievre has been on fire lately, especially when coming back to Parliament. We've seen the other day, if you watch the video where we covered what his remarks were alongside Chrystia Freeland, when it came time to Justin Trudeau's lavish vacation, as well as how Canadians can't even afford anything these days, while Chrystia Freeland wanted to remark about Pierre cashing his $1,000 tax rebate for carbon. Now, a lot of people I know didn't receive that rebate. Marfully so. It was brought up in my comments that if you filed after a certain day in March on your taxes last year, that you were ineligible for that rebate, which is probably why a lot of people didn't end up getting it. But Pierre coming back saying that he paid for his vacations. He pays for what his family does, unlike Justin Trudeau. And today is no different, as Pierre Poilievre showing once again just how much he wants to go for the prime minister job, how hungry he is to be the prime minister of Canada, but also calling out Justin Trudeau's absolute questionable behavior. I don't know if Justin does a little bit of the devil's dandruff before he comes into the House of Commons, but we've seen unhinged rants like this before. When you look at Justin Trudeau talking about how if you paid more carbon taxes, you got a white Christmas. Like, paying the carbon tax means you're going to get snow. It seems like any time the Liberals start applauding him in his speeches, he gets louder and louder. I think it gives him some feeling of people approving of him or people liking him. Because let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, nobody likes Justin Trudeau. His wife didn't even like him. She left. I mean, let's take a listen to what happens, and then we're going to get into a little bit more, but just bear with me. Let's take a look at this here. The Pleb, friend of the channel, pointing out Pierre Poilievre completely mocks Justin Trudeau for being unhinged. Let's take a listen.
In 2015, Stephen Harper presented a budget that had slashed funds for policing, slashed funds for CBSA officers, slashed funding for Veterans Affairs Services, and we were there to clean up the mess, to cut taxes for the wealthiest 1%, lower them for the middle class, to support families, to start moving forward on gun control in real ways while the Conservatives cozy up to the American gun lobbies. We've continued to step up and keeping Canadians safe. Let them bring assault weapons back to our streets. We'll keep Canadians safe.
So before we get into Pierre's response, notice again how as soon as people start applauding him, he gets louder and louder. And many people could say, well, it's getting loud behind him. He wants to make sure of what he's saying and to be heard or to get his voice into the microphone. No, this is his ego being inflated by the millisecond by the Liberal Party of Canada. And it's funny that he thinks that we're keeping Canada safe by taking away people's guns. I'll remind everybody that 99.9% of the crimes in this country are done by illegal firearms that are brought over borders from other countries, usually with their serial numbers scraped off of the guns. We've seen a lot of gang violence where corruption of gangs and gang activity brings in firearms into the country. If Justin Trudeau would like to provide people with a statistical proven printout of just what is necessary in terms of taking away people's guns because of crimes that have been committed by registered owners, I would surely love to look over that document. But let's take a look at what Pierre has to say, because boy, does he nail it on the head.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Wow, is he ever losing control of himself? Oh my goodness. Screaming and hollering like that. Mr. Speaker, it's his press release that says that in Toronto, auto thefts are up 300% since he took office. His solution is to hold a summit. He held a summit on food prices. Food prices went up. He held a summit on housing. Housing costs doubled. How much is crime going to rise after all the bigwigs go to his summit?
Pierre nailing it on the head. Again, one thing he doesn't mention, Justin Trudeau wants to hold a summit because, well, he loves spending money. He loves spending money. Uh, he just wants another excuse to go out and schmooze with people. Now, crime or car thefts in Toronto up 300%. I guess maybe Justin Trudeau should start taking away people's cars to make them safe. I know by 2030 he wants them all to be electric because we can't be trusted driving gasoline-powered vehicles. But let's take a listen to what Pierre had to say more about Justin Trudeau, about the Liberal government no longer being liberal. Let's take a listen to this one. Let's adjust the volume here. Here we go.
Poilievre is taking a very aggressive approach to the Liberal Party of Canada.
There's not going to be a Liberal Party in the next election. Justin Trudeau, of course, is not a Liberal. He is a radical authoritarian. He's the opposite of liberal. He's very illiberal. This is not the party of Chrétien, Manley, Martin. This is a radical authoritarian diversion that you've never seen before and that you don't recognize. In order to clamp down and avoid anybody standing up to him, he's passing censorship laws. He's cracking down on political opponents, and of course he's taking over the media so that he won't have any contrary voices in the press.
I totally agree with that. I've always voted Liberal federally. This time I'm looking at this going, hell no. No way. Not in a million years. And I think that it's wild when I talk to friends of mine who are Liberal supporters, who still espouse that mindset of, I've always voted Liberal, Liberal's the only way to go. Can you not see the divide between what a traditional Liberal would believe and what this man is doing? Even the Liberals themselves are not in agreement with it. How do you keep looking at this person and going, that's a leader? I don't understand that cognitive dissonance.
So, again, very good points made. And I've said this often, that when you look at the woke practices of Justin Trudeau, this is where the line gets drawn. They've gone too woke. They've gone plaid, so to speak, if you know the Spaceballs reference, which means they've basically taken it to the far extreme in terms of how far they're going to push. This is where you're seeing a change in politics right now on a global scale. When we look at the farmers over in Europe, when you look at what's happening in Canada, even in the United States, the pushback against Joe Biden with Donald Trump, they tried to take too much too fast. And they tried to force their woke ideologies onto everybody, and people now are starting to see that line that splits them off in terms of the Liberal Party versus a party looking to inflate their egos and push Marxist ideologies onto people. But Justin Trudeau, again, I think a lot is more concerned with his ego, because let's take a look at what Andy Lee, friend of the channel, has posted here on Twitter. I wouldn't expect Telefilm Canada to provide you with funding anytime soon, Tamara, referring to a tweet from Tamara Leach. They're too busy producing quality CanCon content for the Canadians our PM deems acceptable, such as God Save Justin Trudeau. Yes, this is a real movie funded by your taxes. This is not a test. Look at this. Look at this poster. Justin making out with his wife. Here's him boxing. Here's like big old picture of him. Doesn't this look like something out of North Korea? Like back when, you remember Kim Jong-il? Kim Jong-il was obsessed with movies. He was obsessed with film. And I could see this as one of these dictatorship-style movies that's done to push propaganda. And I wouldn't doubt if this movie is, in fact, doing the same thing. It's absolutely disgusting that when you look at the CBC, and we're going to get in next week into their bonus structure, and Katie Telford sitting down to be questioned as to the CBC's future plans and why they feel they're deserving of taxpayer money. But Justin Trudeau's ego knows no bounds. The country has turned into a virtual joke under the guise of Justin Trudeau. And a lot of people saying they don't think he's going to run in the next federal election. I beg to differ. I think that his ego, his hubris, knows no bounds, that he will in fact either feel that he has an ace up his sleeve or that he's approved of enough in order to maintain his seat, standing alongside Jagmeet Singh. That's up for debate, and we're going to figure that out. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And let me know what you think about Pierre absolutely slaying Justin Trudeau in the House of Commons. I think it's great. I can't wait to see more of it. I'm so glad Parliament's back. And again, we'll be covering all the gaffes, all the fun stuff here on the channel. So make sure, if you haven't yet, click the subscribe button. I hope this video has earned your subscription. As you're doing that, also turn on your bell for notifications and join us this evening in just a few short hours at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Central for Friday Night Fringe, where we're going to sit down with my dear, dear friend Tamara Leach, maybe talk about this god-awful movie idea, and a few other things. It's going to be a fun little chat. Just a reminder, folks, if you do shop on unacceptablefringebooks.com for any of our books, including How the Prime Minister Stole Freedom, those books are now on clearance. The site will be shutting down as of February 25th. This is your last chance to grab autographed signed books from me direct. Keep in mind, our prices do include free Canada-wide shipping for every purchase made. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you on the next one.